all this stuff I was going to start asking you. Then we got into this deep discussion about autoerotic asphyxiation before the opening of the show. I thought we might as well just keep going.
Yeah, right.
Fuck Austin and you know, the new Rolling Stones track I was going to talk about. But Michael Hutchence came up somehow in the pre-show. If you guys ever want to dig into the pre-show with us a little bit, you can join Kliq This TV, and you get to hang out with us a little bit before we start. But we talked about Michael Hutchence, and I said, was it autoerotic asphyxiation or suicide? And it was the autoerotic asphyxiation, and just the whole concept of it. It's the fine line. Now listen, if you're somebody who maybe can't find yourself in the company of a partner in life, and you want to try that, I understand a little bit the tempting pleasure, upping the stakes. If you're Michael Hutchence, famous, could have anyone blowing you, and did, why would you put yourself in the room with the rope around your neck? Can you not get an equivalent thrill?
It's the same psychology of, if you could take a drug that would make you the fastest human on earth, knowing it would kill you, but you would win the gold medal, would you take it? And like, you ask athletes this, and it's like 93% of them say, of course I would. So it's just like, it's that you and I are very similar. Like, us roughing it, it means like really shitty TV in a 5-star hotel. Like we're never gonna like call
a real
each other
bad steak experience.
Yeah, exactly.
On the beach.
We're never gonna be like, you know what we should do, man? We know it's on my bucket list. Climb Everest. Fucking my Everest was watching Suits. I was like, phew. Like I said,
I mean, listen, neither of us are silver spooners, and
no.
You know,
but that's why I appreciate life too much to, you know.
I've worked for everything I have. I've never been given anything, and I don't want to lose that. For pounding my schmeckel in a closet with a tie around my neck. Imagine if you're Michael Hutchence.
Well, that was,
and you have the world at your feet.
I was telling a story. There was a producer, executive producer on a film that I did, and he walks. I'm almost sure he was in Vienna, Austria. And anybody from Vienna that's listening out there, if I'm right, but there's these. They look like almost like nuclear reactors, but there's 3 of them, and they're outside of town. And they used to throw raves in these things. And he walked into this rave, and in the corner there was like giant blocks of ice and this blue light from like every angle. And Hutchinson was standing on this platform with just the way he described it, I think it was Dusty's coat. So he's got Dusty's fur coat on, and baby. And he's got 2 different women performing oral sex on him.
See what I mean?
And he, the producer's name was Jeremy. Jeremy said that he was there for like an hour, or maybe an hour and a half. He said every time he turned and looked, it was a different pair of girls. And he was there for an hour and a half.
Right.
Number one,
to this platform.
Number one, I didn't know Blue Chew was around then. Because I mean, I don't care who you are.
I don't know. Homeboy didn't need it, I guess.
Maybe it's the ice that's keeping the balls contracted.
No, it would have the reverse. I'd imagine the girls would be chewing taffy.
But they weren't.
Right. So, but this is my point.
So you can last for 1,000,000 years.
But this is my point. That if you have that kind of sway, what are you doing with the rope around your neck, pounding your schmeckle? I don't get it. Like, why are we tempting this? Why are we? Yeah, you know what? You're right. It is similar to when we read a story or we hear the thing about the guy that skydives. I'm like, what? Why? Why? The
Yeah.
rules are very simple on Earth. You can't fucking fly. Why?
Well, to me, it's like Cruise.
Tom?
Yeah, like they showed that the stunt that he did with the motorcycle and the parachute. Now, if I was a trained paratrooper, I wouldn't have a problem whatsoever with going down a ramp as fast as I could and letting the bike let go below me. It's obviously and then pulling a ripcord. If I knew what the fuck I was doing with the chute, I mean, I don't really think that's a big deal. I think if you're worth like $400 million, it is. When we both know that you can shoot that a billion times and never know. I mean, you watch The Matrix back, or watch the John Wicks, and John Wick's stunt double and fight double looks a lot like Keanu, but Keanu still does a great portion of what he does in the films.
Right.
But at the same time, he's not him. And when you see him in Common rolling down the cement steps, you can, if you watch closely, it's not Common and it's not Keanu.
Right.
You can see it, but you have to. It's like Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is not doing all those stunts at 71 years old.
Right.
We both know you can speed the frame up. There's a lot of tricks you can do to make things look, the fact that Liam Neeson does 23 action films a year is,
With actors, though, this becomes kind of a point of machismo or authenticity to say, yeah, I did most of my own.
But you're a front man. So you're a front man of a band. So it's like you've got to be the most extreme front man of all time. So you're like pushing that. So you sit there and people tell this story about your sexual prowess in Austria, and then you find yourself at a Red Roof Inn, and like, how do you? I mean, you just. I guess just sitting on the commode, letting your feet go to sleep while you're trying to pound one out ain't gonna get it.
He should have talked to you. You should have told him the benefits of a little bit of get blitzed, putting on suits, putting your fucking feet up, pouring yourself a Cabernet, and just letting yourself settle into the evening.
Yeah. But that's why we're here.
The world would still have In Excess music.